Hello everybody and welcome to Florida Hospital East Orlando. My name is Jamie Galacci. I am the shipping and receiving clerk here at Florida Hospital East.
Right now I am making labels so that I can do deliveries to the different departments around the hospital. Luckily, knock on wood, we haven't lost anything at East in a very long time. If I'm the only one that delivers, it's obviously my fault, so I can't even blame anybody else.
I walk approximately 20,000 steps per day, which is about 10 miles a day, 50 miles a week, 2,600 miles a year if I don't take vacation. I'm going to be your guide on this journey. Come and see the sights that I see.
Let's start with something light and endearing. We have Crystal over in rehabilitation. Let's hear her story.
I was right here when I witnessed a patient's full recovery, mind, body, and spirit. This patient had come to us when he was a small child for developmental delay, and we had treated him, and he was discharged because he'd met all his goals. And shortly, maybe 3 or 4 years after that, we saw him again on our caseload, and we were like, why is he coming back? And we found out he had had a ruptured AVM. It was very difficult for him to dress himself. He couldn't walk between the bathroom and his bed. He could not communicate in full sentences. He was severely limited by this injury. We worked with him for about 3 to 4 months, and he came around swimmingly. He was doing great. It was over a summer vacation, and he was able to keep up with his peers. He was able to do everything that he needed to be able to do to go back to being a typical, kid. He was getting ready to start school, and we were all very excited for him, very happy, and he wasn't. And he's like, well, I don't have a backpack, and I don't have back to school clothes, and I don't have supplies, and we didn't get to go shopping, and I don't feel confident. The mom let us know that she had been out of work because she'd been running him all over town. Once the therapist found out what was going on, they went to the store that night and they bought him a brand new backpack and they bought him a whole bunch of school supplies. I was in the gym when we got to give this backpack to this kid who was just beside himself excited now to go to school, whereas 2 days ago, he didn't want anything to do with it. And I think it was this brand new cool backpack, as silly as it sounds, was all the self-confidence he needed to walk back into the next chapter of his life. And that's amazing. That's compassion, that's care, that's love. And we really love our patients. We really love them.
Now that you see the extra miles that our staff will go for a patient, let's see what one of our own leaders, Jillian, has to say about her experience with healthcare.
I was right here when I got the call that my grandmother was in the emergency department, but she was over 1,000 miles away. So I first got the call, I was in a meeting. I kept getting calls from a California number, and it was my cousin, and she was crying hysterically. She was telling me that my grandmother was in the hospital, and they were right now in the emergency department, and that she had been waiting on a CT for almost 10 hours. And so I could hear my grandmother in the background, yelling out in pain and just scared. And my cousin, she didn't know what to do. And I worked in a hospital. I knew kind of how things happen in a hospital. But at that moment, I wasn't a hospital administrator. At that moment, I was a terrified granddaughter. Things were piling up in their emergency department, and they were just kind of trying to take the worst case situation. So I just tried to comfort her while she was waiting till we could get the CT and get everything taken care of. And what I think is special about our ED is that I know there's a lot of people there that care from their heart, and that they want to make the frightened family member, the frightened patient, feel safe and secure. I think when you start with our mission of extending the healing ministry of Christ, your actions and your words follow that. And I think that's the biggest difference in our emergency department. And they have each other and can support each other in what is needed to care for that patient. And you know you can rely on your teammate to give that person a smile.
Jillian knows how important the hospital experience is not only for the patient but also for their loved ones. And she knows here at East the staff truly works hard to comfort not only the patients but also their families. Hello Earl, hello Deb.
Look at this.
Well, I'm delivering your chairs, but I'm not assembling them. Jose!
Hey, Jamie.
The best thing about working at Florida Hospital East is the people. We have a lot of fun over here. For the most part, everybody knows one another.
Hey, Jamie.
Hi, Juliana. Next up, we'll hear from Valentina, who tells the story of her being a patient here herself.
The first day, I feel a little bit pain, but I finish my work and go home, and the pain started worse. It's going worse and worse. We went to ER, and then the nurse came in. The attention was very quick. They taken me to the room. They taken some tests, blood tests, and ultrasound. They came back and they told me that I have a gallstones. So they told me I have a surgery. So for the surgery was admitted. So it was very scary because I don't know what happened really. And I was scared because I know the organ that I have in there is gonna be the most important organ. So, and they changed my body. How gonna be changed? Yes, I'm scared. The surgery after came out, I was in the 5 West. I remember my room, it was 5118. And it was very, very nice, clean room. The attention, my stay in the hospital was my experience. It was the most wonderful. The nurse take care of me, the house nurse, Michelle. Every hours they came to see me and asked me if I needed something. Everybody's coming in, even my coworkers. I feel like just born baby because everybody's spoiling me. I was right here when I knew I was in good hands.
Valentina knows the pain and fear that many patients go through. You can see that level of understanding in the serious care that our staff provide every single day. But sometimes life can show you the unexpected and the devastating. Sometimes it takes incredible strength and support to see the beauty in life again.
I was right here when healing began. When she passed away, I didn't want to. It was really hard for me to come back and face people and have to keep telling the story. I didn't want to face people at the time. After she was gone. For me, I didn't think I'd have any more kids. At least I didn't want any more. I felt like they would replace. It would almost be like replacing her, and I didn't want to replace her. But God gave me a son. Now that he's here, yeah, he's definitely a blessing, and his joy is back in the home. The whole process actually opened me up to my patients too, as well. You know, I understand on the level that they're at. You know, when they're in pain, when they're in fear, when they have anxiety creeping in, when they feel like all hope is lost. I understand that place now, and I feel like I can relate to that fully. You know, from a standpoint of being in the hospital, of knowing that you don't know what the next moment is going to carry. You know, I want to just show people that you can go from a place of tremendous grief, and you can get pulled out, and you can overcome with God. And that if we could just grasp onto that hope of what's to come, then that's for me what it's all about.
The Amarilla shows us that we have the power to make a sincere connection with the patients that we care for every day and for each other.
I was right here.
I was right here. I was right here when I decided to make some healthy changes in my life.
I was right here.
I was right here.
I was right here when I made a new friend. I was right here when I realized how much our community relies on us to take care of them and their health. And the best part was, I realized that the heart of our employees had at the very, very front a desire to care for them. And really, that's where we find ourselves today, continuing to improve and increase East Orlando excellence, but doing it in such a way that we do it together more than we ever have been before, listening to your voice, listening to your ideas, bringing our own ideas to the table and asking you what you think. The exciting thing is, it's not over. We'll continue to learn and grow together. There's not a whole lot we can't accomplish together. Thank you for that journey. Thank you for what's ahead.